All right, we're back for episode 22 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
I'm Rob.
And we have a special guest in the corner, down there, down in the right corner, Mr. Tim McConnell.
Woohoo!
What's up, fellas? What's
How's
up?
it going, Tim?
Well, so far so good. If my voice stays with us, we're good.
Well,
Man,
you always have a raspy voice, don't you? I
Always,
mean, it's
man.
normal.
It's
Well, hey,
horrible.
fun
It's
fact
horrible.
about Tim, he was actually the model for the Cabbage Patch Kids.
I
I
thought
got you, but,
I thought you were going to say Barney Rubble or something. I don't know.
hey, I've been called that too. So.
Yeah.
Tim, is this like getting the old band back together? Maybe?
Oh yeah.
Right,
When I first started hearing about the Idiot Circle, I was like, man, that is great. That brought back some great memories, some great times uptown.
And some things you can't remember, I'm sure.
And that,
Some
my
bad
friend,
times,
is the
too.
truth.
But not you,
100.
Tim. You were always a straight shooter, sober as a church mouse.
Oh no, Timmy and I were smoking some Swisher Sweets back in Aspen way
God.
back in the day, man.
Did you ever get into the backwoods smoke?
No.
No, that was
Never.
Danny Halpin that did that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was some crazy times uptown. Let me tell you, it was like when you guys remember we used to take that instead of going around. We pull. Remember Tribune Sales and Service, and then they put the chains up after a while. They didn't want to. We used to turn around and there.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think in episode 1 or 2, we talked about that where they put the chains up because Ed Terhune and Addison was not having us. He hated our cars sitting in the parking lot, sitting there chilling out.
I almost hit an old lady, Tim, going through.
Yeah, it was when I used to drive that old green bomb through there. My mom and dad's old car. That was a bomb, man.
The Batmobile.
So Tim, give us some highlights of your tours of duty and the Idiot Circle. What are some of the highlights from that?
Some of the highlights, we used to hang out right in front of the Guys Center with the bushes, right? So we cruise around for a little while, and then we park there and stash our beer behind the bushes. And then the police would come through, and then we just stand there and have a few cocktails. And that was right, across the street from, was it Ben Franklin then, right?
Yeah, Apple Core.
In the Apple Core, and they used to have that old overhang. We used to hang out there, and then you jump in your car and maybe take a long one. Remember that, boys? You take the long one, go over the bridge, and go back around.
Boom! Told you.
I never did that. Never
Take
took
a
the
long
long one.
I
think it was just you two.
Hey, Tim, let me just tell you.
Reset.
Yeah, let me just tell you, Tim. Mike gave me the look like, "What the hell are you talking about? You are completely. What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm like, "What are you talking?" And then now you just proved it.
Well, so far it's just you two saying that you took a long one. I mean,
I took the long one too.
We used to take the long one and then go by dirt. Where Roger Toner worked at the gas station. Remember?
Oh, Louis gas station.
Remember, we used to go by through Louis, go around that way because that was always fun. Or go by Tim's store to grab something, or Sonny's or whatever.
Sonny subs.
That was always good.
So as you were talking about hiding the beer behind the bushes, I was just thinking, and Fred lifted up that can. Why didn't one of us idiots back in the day think of the, how they have the cans where you can put it inside of it so it looks like a Coke can or a Pepsi can? Why the fuck didn't we come up with that?
If we did, we wouldn't be doing the show.
You just can't have it all, boys. You can't have it all. You can't have it. Can't have all thoughts.
It was the Mountain Dew wrap, and it was like metal, and it was flat, and when you put the can on it, it would just fold and wrap around.
I don't even think
you had that back in the day.
I had that in the day. Yeah, I had
really
the Mountain Dew one.
Fuck. Was that in California or Marine City?
No, on the Idiot Circle.
Holy fuck! Why didn't you tell us? Asshole.
I thought everybody had them. There was a lot of people that had them. Some had Dr. Pepper, some had Mountain Dew.
Or we could have just poured them in a Solo cup or something, but
I didn't think they had Solo cups. They didn't even have red Solo cups back then. I don't think
they didn't.
No, back in the 70s and early 80s, what they would do is they'd get a milk carton, dump the milk out of it, and pour the alcohol into the milk carton. They would drink it out of the milk carton.
That's fucking brilliant. Except nobody drinks milk.
Some of the guys used to. those green Mountain Dew bottles. Remember the Mountain Dew bottle was green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They dumped those out and put the beer in those. So
Yeah.
Hey, Tim,
yeah, buddy.
Mountain Dew bottles are still green.
Well, I know, but
Remember when they were
they're
green?
plastic now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're always
The
green.
old glass ones, yeah. Yeah.
The old glass ones.
Okay,
I got
so Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Coke, always better in the glass bottle. Yes?
100,
Can we agree on
100%.
that?
Yeah.
100%. And
God,
it's
those
amazing
are-
that none of us chipped a tooth on the glass bottle.
No shit. And some of us idiots are actually opening with their teeth back
Yes.
then, like
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
morons.
Well,
I
Yeah.
have a
Hey,
couple.
all you have
bottoms.
to do is have Tim smile. He looks like
There you go.
Dracula from like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, dumbass.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Excellent.
C.
Who got
The
a-
answer C.
Who got a ticket down at the church for doing a turnaround? Remember when they used to sit there and you couldn't, it said no U-turn? Remember you had to sit there? I got one. I did a
I
You
never
one?
got one.
backed up. Rob
And, that,
Payton gave me
and
a ticket.
technically, you could have fought that because it's a Y turn. What you did,
Yeah, I
not
know,
a U turn.
I know.
See, I always went around. I went up the street and went to Market Street and around. I never went down by the church, and you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never did that.
That's
got
what
the-
you knew that you were going to live on Market Street. There was like a natural pull.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not discounting
very-
that as a theory.
right.
We used to hang out down by the what's it that where the gun is? What park is that?
Yeah, the one right next to my my relative's house there.
Yeah.
No, not that
Yeah,
one. Fred.
the-
Down
yeah,
the
The one with the
The-
cobblestone, and then the one
north,
one if
the
you came
north
straight.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come
one of
straight
his
north one.
relatives lived next to where Morelli's was,
So that's-
right? Or Bruce
Okay.
Beaton's office, right? Fred, you had a
Okay.
relative that lived in the
Yeah.
house.
So the guns in that the gun is in that little area, and then
and
we if you pulled in straight in, that's the parking lot you're talking about. Too.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We used to hang out there quite a bit till late. We used to shoot, actually hit golf balls at freighters when they'd go by. That was a lot of fun.
You know what's pathetic? All four of
Frisbee
us
park.
from Marine City, nobody knows the name of that fucking park. It's literally like a half a block. I could see it from my window. Nobody knows the fucking
Is it
name.
like nautical something?
I don't
Which
know.
part? It was
The
always
nautical
dark. I
miles
don't know.
one is down in front of Gord's and Riviera.
I'm sure somebody will comment or something.
Nobody comments.
No, we
You
have
would-
no
you would-
listeners, Tim. It's just us. This is all. we
Really?
listen.
You would
Yeah.
think that people would comment. They just don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
I mean, we
Too
say some
smart.
stupid shit and they still don't comment on
Yeah,
it.
we try to say shit that's wrong, stupid, and they still don't.
Yeah, just to
Pretty
see if
funny.
anybody's going to respond.
I mean, look at all the hours we hung out in town those days. It was crazy. Crazy. Think about it.
We
I
had
mean-
nothing else to do, Tim. That's all
No.
we could do. I mean, if you weren't playing
But-
sports, practicing, you're
Well,
going
even-
on with your
Well,
on the
yeah,
side.
you guys all
even-
know. You guys all know if before we started driving, if you wanted to know where everybody was, all you had to do is find all the bikes.
Mhm.
And Tim, I mean, God love his soul. He had to ride his bike everywhere, including in
Everywhere.
the winter to get to basketball practice.
Yeah. I used to ride my bike on Marine City Highway when the car would come. I'd jump off, stand in the snow, and let them go by, and then I get back in. Well, that was Marine City Highway wasn't as busy as it was now. You take your life in your own hands now if you're on that sucker.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, we've become our parents going to school both ways uphill in the snow.
Yeah.
That's, those
Yeah.
are the things that we
He killed a bear with his loose leaf notebook.
Exactly.
For sure. For sure. Some great days.
Tim, what have you been? I haven't talked to you in a while. What have you been doing with your life, man? I know you coach. I know you.
Yeah. Well, I dabbled in coaching. I probably coached forever. I've been coaching at the high school level forever.
Yeah.
Coaching softball, followed the daughters, got them through, and now I'm doing 18U Chargers softball. So go Chargers, right? That's one for
Yeah.
the girls. And then I've been an operating engineer, local 324 member for 25 plus years now. So it's been great.
25 plus years.
Yep.
That's
Yep,
awesome.
25 years. Work for Motor City Electric right
Yeah.
now, and been with them quite a while. I run all their heavy equipment, a lot of crane work, different, moving materials anywhere
Yeah.
from large industry to small light poles, what you name it, we do it.
And you live out by Perch Point.
Yep. I live out Jamie's parents' property. We grandma gave us a nice piece of property. We put a nice house on it. And, that's where we've been.
Which
So,
I tried to go about a year ago I wanted Perch. The Adair bar was 2 packs. So I went down the street a little bit to go to Perch Point Friday night, late summer.
time.
Yeah,
Good time.
but you know what I couldn't get at Perch Point? Perch. They didn't sell perch.
No,
It was cod, probably.
It was cod.
They don't even get perch. That's funny, Perch Point. Yeah, so that's good. Lots of good people. Cold beer there too, buddy. Cold beer.
Yeah, cold beer. Well, it should be, right? All those good old Midwest places should have cold beer and
Hell yes.
yeah.
A lot of nice
Cold
people
beer,
there.
nice.
A lot of nice.
I
So
mean,
it's
if
good
you
stuff.
don't have cold beer, you might as well pack it up. I mean,
No kidding, right?
I'm out.
what's the point?
I'm
You
done.
know, I mean,
Yeah, that is one thing when I go out to eat. I don't know about you guys. The first thing I do is when I order a beer is I'm hoping that it's not where it's on that verge of being warm. It's cold,
Yeah.
but it's on the verge of being warm.
Yeah.
I hate
Now
places that I want it cold where my lips stick to the friggin' glass, for God's sakes.
now,
like
what
the
happens
bottle-
if you get a warm one? You get up and walk out, Fred? Have you ever
Send-
done that?
send it-
No, I
Send them.
I
Send it
just
back.
have to guzzle it just so it doesn't.
Don't you
That's
do that
funny.
with every beer?
You beat me to it. God,
What did he say?
like he's. Go ahead, Rob.
I said, don't you do that with, I was gonna say, how would you even know if it's cold or warm? You just
Right.
does it and shit. Like it's,
Touche.
Does. He takes them down like appetizers.
hey, so I got a good
And you
topic.
don't.
I
Yeah,
got a
right.
good
That's calling the
topic.
kettle black melon head.
I got a good topic for us tonight.
All right.
And
We'll be the judge of whether it's a good topic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tooting your own horn there, Rob.
Well, we're still, hockey's over, which sucks.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who won the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup?
Avalanche.
Unbelievable.
Sore subs. I don't know.
You know what the pathetic thing is? I really didn't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, you did. I know.
No,
you
I
did.
don't.
He did.
You're such a
I
dick, Mike.
I knew
You
they were
really are.
up. I knew they were up 3-1
No.
at some point.
You know how I know you're lying?
Dude, I
'Cause
swear
your
to
hair's
God.
gray.
Yeah, exactly. I swear I didn't know. I didn't know it was over. I'm totally clueless.
Yeah.
It's not football. I don't fucking care.
Well, so okay, that's my point. So we're getting excited after hockey's over. Really, then it's time for me to get excited about football. And we cannot deny what the hell Mel Tucker's doing on that recruiting trail right now. And I'm surprised because Tim, we talked about this like a year ago, and I said he wouldn't be able to recruit, he would fail. And by God, I'm wrong as I stand.
Dude,
here
he's
right
not
now.
recruiting. He's getting everything from the transfer portal.
I know, but it's still recruiting.
I know it's
coming in
considered that,
before.
but I mean, he can't go out to a high school and bring a kid in. He's not going to bring, if a kid's going to see Mel Tucker or Jim Harbaugh and you can get a chance to run out of the tunnel or go play at state. I mean, what would you choose?
Yeah.
Well, right now, I'm telling you, all these young kids don't know the greatness of Michigan and what they used to be. And so
Right.
it's almost like to the point where this Tucker's going in and whatever he's doing, he's promising them something. And
Well, it's a lot of the
gotta be-
NIL stuff. And,
Money.
Yeah,
Well,
Michigan.
that's part of it.
Yeah, that is a huge part of it because Jim Harbaugh has already come out and said, we are not paying anybody to come play at Michigan. If they want to get an NIL deal
On their own, right? It's
on their own when they come, hey, no problem. But we're not gonna pay somebody to say, hey, we're gonna give you this NIL deal to come play football
Timmy,
for us.
is that a mistake? And listen,
It might be. It might be.
Yeah, because
But at least you
there's
have some
gonna be
integrity.
Man,
Well,
could you imagine?
NIL deals right now are going to be a big part of college football until they are stopped. But
Yeah.
why wouldn't
It's
you
never
get
gonna
in
stop.
on it?
Because they
Could you-
opened
could
up
you-
the can of worms, man.
Could you
Timmy, what do
imagine
you
making
think?
money? Could you imagine making money playing as a college player? I was a broke ass college kid. Broke. Could you imagine somebody coming to you and saying, hey, we'll pay you $500,000 to promote this or do whatever commercials?
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, he was at a Division III school that was in the top 3 in the nation every year in baseball. And I mean, people would invite, if you had a good game, you had 50 invites for steak dinners at people's houses. I'm at U of D, and my mom goes, "Hey, would you like this for Christmas? Father Don wants to buy you this." But he goes, "I got it, but Father Don couldn't buy it for me. My mom had to buy it for him, because if he bought it for me and he's a Catholic priest, he's considered a
booster,
a booster, even though he's not any part."
Yeah.
All right. So Timmy, what do you think about what Mel Tucker's doing?
I like it for the program that he's doing well. It's great for college football. It's great for the competition. I love the fact that it'll make that rivalry that much better. You know, he's doing a nice job, obviously.
Do you think, because you know, in college football, you have to have a complete game as a coach. You know, if you're an NFL coach, you have to be a great administrator of your coaches and be able to, you know, that last 2 minutes. But in college football, you not only do you have to recruit well, but then you have to translate those recruits on as wins on the field.
It's a basic thing of, what have you done for me lately, right?
Yeah,
that's it. And if not, for every departure, there's an arrival. So when you're leaving, there's another coach coming. So I mean, they want to win. So you know, it's like you're an internal timer. You gotta put a product on the field, or you're going to be down the road.
Well, the only thing I can tell you right now is it hasn't been a rivalry, even though it is a rivalry, because Michigan State has completely dominated Michigan for the last 8 years.
Yeah, they played very well. Very well.
I mean, since the trouble with the snap, it's just been sick, and it's just sickening to watch what has happened. And I mean, and I'm talking that Michigan's had a better football team numerous times than Michigan State, but they just can't. They always find a way to fucking lose to them.
State definitely rises to the occasion.
Well, you know, and the thing is I think one of the reasons, and I think Rob and I talked about this, and he'll agree with me, is a lot of kids from Michigan, the state of Michigan, are going to Michigan State, and they know what the rivalry is, where Michigan's getting kids from like Ohio and West Virginia,
California, Texas,
California, Florida. And they didn't grow up knowing what the rivalry was about.
Yeah, they're getting turned away too. You know, Michigan's not coming after them. They're going
right.
Dan Antonio made a career at Michigan State, getting a 2.5, 3.5 star kid that was turned away by Michigan, and he was going to get up for that game like nobody's business.
Right.
Do you think Mel Tucker can do the same thing?
I don't know. Can he translate? Did he do it last year? They had a pretty easy schedule. Was it last year he had a bad year, or was it the year before?
Yeah, last year. Or they 3-9 last year or something like that?
They struggled.
And
not last year, not this past year. They weren't 3-9 this past year.
It was the year before.
It was a year before, and one of those wins, and one of those wins are against Michigan during the where nobody was allowed in the stadium.
Right. Yeah. So if you look at their schedule this year, it is brutal. If you want to look it up, it is brutal. They got a lot of great teams on the road. They're not dodging anybody on this side.
Yeah.
They got Wisconsin, they got Michigan, they got Ohio State, they got.
I think they have Ohio State at home at least.
Yeah,
I mean they got Wisconsin at Camp Randall. They got Michigan at the Big House. You know, but the thing is, you know,
they got Penn State at Penn State.
Yeah. I think. So my thing is Mel Tucker's Ken Holland right now. When Ken Holland, when he had all the money,
analogy.
When he had all the money that Ilitch would throw out so he could have a super team. But as soon as the salary cap came, you really understood what Ken Holland was about. He was not good at doing what he did. If you take the transfer portal away from Michigan State, they're hanging out with Purdue and Northwestern and some of the lower grade teams, because they can't. It's not to me. Michigan State's never been a football school. It's always been a basketball school.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So the thing is if you take the transfer portal away, could Mel Tucker literally walk into somebody's house and actually recruit them to get them excited to come play Spartan football?
No, I don't think he's going to get them three. What's he getting? 3, 4-star guys?
He's getting 4.5.
Is he getting
5
4.5
right now? Yeah, but like Fred said, they're coming off the transfer.
Yeah, but the transfer portal is not going away. So I mean,
Well,
right. So
if you're a 5-star guy at Alabama or wherever you're at, you're sitting for 3-4 years, and then you get to play, and then you go to the NFL. But okay, so you're a 4 or 5-star guy behind somebody in another school. Oh, I can go to state and play. Bingo,
yeah.
I'm going.
Don't underestimate that draw either. The chance to actually play. I mean, and those are the guys you want. The guys that you want to go to your school because they want to play. They don't care if it's Michigan State or Akron. They want to fucking play football. Those are the kind of guys you want. I mean, a lot of these athletes, I mean, that's what drives them. I mean, the NIL, yeah, sure, that's something, but I think a lot of the guys are going because they want to play.
Yeah.
Well, just like the quarterback that just left Ohio State and transferred to Texas, thinking he was going to be the starting quarterback, and all of a sudden,
and then they sign Manning.
They get Arch Manning.
Your buddy, Arch Manning.
Yep, who's not going to do a fucking thing.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
I love this debate, Tim, because
he ain't gonna do
I don't know where I said. How can you go against a Manning at quarterback? Their track record is
got the genetics.
Unbelievable.
He's got the genetics.
Yeah.
So what is he's not going to do shit mean to you, Fred?
He ain't going to win anything. He'll be.
It's not one guy for the whole fucking team.
I'm just going to say he might be okay, but he's not. I mean, he's not going to be at the level of Peyton, and he might be a shade underneath what Eli was at Ole Miss.
You never know.
Eli didn't win much.
I guess I shouldn't really speculate.
You got to give him a chance. You got to give him a chance.
But the thing is he was thrown in our face for months. It's like, dude, pick a fucking school. Dude, I'm sick of hearing about just you. There's other people out there we'd like to hear about too. But here you are. Yeah. They got the same picture with his big fat face with a baseball cap going, hey, Arch is thinking about this. I don't give a fuck what Arch Manning is, because he hasn't been hardly even discussed. Rob, you said, where did he fit in the top 10 quarterbacks coming out? 5th, 6th?
He's a 5-star quarterback.
I said that? I didn't. Oh, I asked you, I mean, where do you think he sits? When you look at him on 247, they are talking about him. He is, number 2 or number 3 overall quarterback.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, this is a good debate because I really have a hard time understand the recruiting boards because I don't know how do they get to these levels. And then I don't know what are some of the parameters, Tim, like, you can rate a guy who's a great athlete in high school at a position, but if he's an idiot that can't pass a grade and won't be able to get on a football field in college, why would
by the way, I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking at it. National rank, he's number 1 on all of them. 247 Sports, 247 Sports Composite, On3 Consensus, Rivals, and ESPN. He's number 1 on every list. Tell me he's not going to do anything? That's fucking okay. Will he do better than Cade McNamara?
Well, that's because
Cade
McNamara wasn't number 1 or number 2 in the country.
Wait, you got to look at where Texas is in that program, and that's been an abomination in the last couple.
They're going to be in the SEC.
They're going. Yes, to my point. So they're going into the SEC where they're going to have a lot of lumps these next couple years.
When do they join the SEC?
Not this year, but the year he comes in.
Yep.
Is he gonna play right away when he gets there?
Well, see, that's the problem. Well, that's the issue because they got the kid from Ohio State who transferred, who was a 5-star recruit and came down there, and then all of a sudden they signed him. I thought Arch was playing. He was able to come in this upcoming season, or is he?
He might be able to
2023, right?
Yeah, I think it's 2023.
It's 2023.
All right. So he's got one more year of high school ball.
He's got one more year. And, I can't cite his high school stats, but I know they've been off the charts. I mean,
I watched him play on ESPN, and he really didn't do anything. He really didn't do anything. I mean, well, the team that they were playing was so putrid. It's like it looked like he was kind of bored and just didn't really want to do anything. But like I said, I guess getting inundated with him thrown in your face, kind of like how we all got inundated with Shea Patterson transferring, and he's going to be great if he comes to Michigan. He's a gunslinger. Yeah, how'd that turn out?
Well,
Not
how
very
about
good.
how about
How about the
getting
fact that
inundated
he gets cut from the Michigan Panthers and he was the first pick in the USFL?
well, how
I did
about
see that.
I mean,
laughed.
we got inundated with Hutchinson coming out as, you know, the be all end all of defensive players. The jury's still out on that.
Hush your mouth, Mike.
I think he's gonna
be fine.
But this is my point, Fred. Like, you're getting hammered with the Arch Manning stuff and you're getting pissed about it. But Hutchinson, he was driven down everybody's throat, you know, 6 months before the draft too.
Sure.
But we were okay with it. I'm okay with it too. I'm just saying, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too there, big boy.
Tim, so
what are you saying? I'm fat?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying don't eat cake.
We have the voice of the Mariners here. We talk a lot of Mariner football. You are our first guest who was a superstar linebacker. What? Come on.
I had something caught in my throat. It's okay.
Tim, you were a beast at linebacker when we were in school. Talk to us a little bit about, you know, your process of leaving that team and what you've seen happen there since you've gone, because it's just been magical.
Well, since Tim left, everything's been better.
No.
We started the playoff run with JW, man, with Jerry Workington when he was head coach, and I was a junior. So, and then you know, we had a heck of a run with that group. You know, we ended up playing with Dearborn Divine Child. They were pretty damn good, and we lost.
Whoever won that game was going to win the state championship.
Yeah,
and you lost 14-7.
They never been hit so hard in their whole year. They said we hit them pretty good for a bunch of country boys from Marine City, but we held our own. I mean, the way the program's gone, I mean, it's gone up and up from there. You know, I mean, you had Ron on, and you know, you start hiring quality coaches like that, and you put them in a program with longevity, and the kids buy into the program, you're going to get great results. Period, and that's what it's been there. You know, and I was fortunate enough to be able to coach it, I think, with a couple of years there. It was a lot of fun. I came back from playing minor league baseball the one season and came and helped out, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed every bit of it. And we made a playoff run then, and you know, now I just enjoy watching the games. It's, you know, I'm a spectator.
How important is it to have your youth programs align all the way from, you know, those early stages to high school? I mean, we see that, you know, St. Clair, I'll take St. Clair, for instance. They've had some great athletes, right? Some athletes are playing pro sports now. It's not that they don't get the athletes, but they just haven't had that focus and direction maybe of that congruent system that helps out their program at the very end, which is high school.
Yeah, I think youth programs just make it consistent, you know, and you're teaching them the same thing, and it makes that much easier when they get to that freshman, sophomore, junior year. It makes that varsity coach's job that much easier, and now you can really, you know, they're not as green as you would say. They're a little ripe, and you know, it makes it much easier to introduce more, because the playbook at one time in Marine City was about that big. Now it's about that big, you know, and you know, Ron, you know, great minds think alike with him and Bob. You know, they would just add things, and you know, they'd be in practice and, hey, let's try to run this and we'll call it this, and add it to the playbook. You know, for the years I was there, you know, it was great. I mean, but the kids, I mean, look at the kids, they crowd around the tunnel. They want to see that football team come out on Friday night, and they want to do it. Man, I can't wait to do that. I want to be a ball boy, you know, and then when they're a ball boy, then they get involved in the program. You know, it's awesome. It is literally awesome.
Tell me your biggest hit as a Marine City Mariner where you just crushed some MOSOB and took his lights out and knocked the air out.
Well, if he doesn't bring up one, I got one.
I got two of them. One's a pretty funny one. Was I started dating Jamie, and we were in the middle of the Richmond High School field,
I forgot about this.
and her cousin Kevin Schroeder takes a handoff, and I just lay him out. And I didn't even know who it was. It's probably one of my better hits in football. And she come to me later and said, "Do you know who that was?" I said, "Well, no." She goes, "That was my cousin." So, and then I had one, Tom Doring. You guys remember that name?
Played at Michigan.
He was a tight end for Divine Child.
6'10".
He was a monster. And we had a special play, we put in defensively that year that I would jump back out of the middle linebacker and jump back into a 4-3, and I had a run and start at him, and he was going to do a quick tight end, like a seam pass up the middle, and I got a run and start at him, and I hit him as hard as I could. I mean, hard as I could. I felt like I didn't move him, but I got him good, and he gets up and he looks at me, he's a monster, and he pats me on the head, dude. That's how it was the best. He goes, "Good hit, you little bastard." He walks away. It was great. That was probably a couple good ones. I hit Tim Muir pretty good one time in Marysville. I got him one time. Jared Moring, I got him.
Well, he on a punt against Marysville, he laid out Ross Plinus.
Oh yeah, I got Ross too. I forgot.
Oh, he laid his ass out, and Ross got up, but man, I was like, and it technically, it could have been flagged.
It was close.
It could have been flagged, but he smoked his ass.
I got him window shopping, Rob. Him window shopping. He's looking around. I got him. And nice. Tony Scarcelli yells up, "Hey, way to block to the whistle." I smoked him. I got him good.
Oh, yeah.
He got me later that season in baseball. He get me on the baseball pretty good. So
now in practice, number one offense going against number one defense. How hard was it to tackle a guy like Randy Jones?
It's hard because Randy won 100% all the time. That's where I learned to tackle. He got me. He used to wear that arm pad. You guys remember that arm pad he always wore?
Yeah.
I don't know, he had a bad elbow or something. He always wore an arm pad. And I tell you what, I come through in practice and I kind of laid off him. He smoked me under the chin, got me good. I said, "Well," Mr. Amiel comes up to me, he goes, "You learned something?" I said, "I sure did." I said, "I sure did." I said, "That son of a bitch ain't going to do that again." So I come through and got him good. And then, Randy, same thing. Randy, I got him pretty good, hit him hard. We were great friends. Yeah. And he said, "That's what I need from you." He was teaching me a lesson. So yeah, I learned a lot. I was a younger player on that team. I had an opportunity to play. So I learned a lot from them guys.
Tim, how many concussions do you think you had when you're playing?
Why do you think he has to call me and ask me, "Hey,
a lot.
Who's this person? Who's that person? Who's this?"
Like ballpark figure, 10 more?
More.
Wow.
More.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, you think about it. We used to go through that gauntlet with Mr. Rambach, and he'd lean you over and smack you in the head and teach you the stiff arm. And you put your helmet on. I don't know if you guys, experience football wise, but you put your helmet on, put your chin strap, and you put your mouth guard in, and it hurt. And you shake your head like this. I don't know about you guys, but you go like that and then you see stars or something. Yeah, that's a concussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it just makes me forget a few things now and then, but sometimes it's selective, and I'll just call my info man, Freddie. He helps me out. So in
another 2 weeks, you'll forget you're on the idiot circle.
Oh no, I won't forget that.
He'll try to forget. See, it's the things he wants to forget that he won't forget.
Right.
There you go, Wardo. There you go.
So I was telling the guys, Tim, that I went to see the movie Elvis this past weekend.
You did?
Yeah, do not go see it.
Is it bad?
Oh, it's horrible. The kid that plays Elvis did a great job, but the angle they took to tell the story was horrible. They didn't feature his music And I know, Fred, you're not an Elvis fan, and maybe others on this panel are not, but it's like John Wayne. You may not think John Wayne is a good actor, but it's John fucking Wayne, right?
Is it?
Yeah, he's not a good actor.
Yeah, but it's John Wayne. It's John Wayne.
Who gives a fuck? He sucks, man. That's
His
my
movies
dad's
are awesome.
hero. It's my dad's hero. He watches that shit all the time. It's the worst fucking acting you ever see in your lifetime.
No,
bad.
Go watch Tom Hanks and Elvis playing Colonel Parker. That's the worst.
Oh.
And he's such a great actor, and it was just horrible. Just horrible.
How was the music in it? Was the music any good?
The music sucks. They don't really. You know how like in Walk the Line.
Yeah.
Whether you like
great movie.
Johnny Cash, the music gets you going. Yeah. Never once in this movie did you get that feeling going.
Wow.
And it's 3 hours.
And the thing is the kid at least looks kind of like Elvis, where Joaquin Phoenix looks nothing like Johnny Cash. But he played a hell of a part.
Yeah, he nailed Johnny Cash. But this kid, Austin something, it played
Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
He sounded, his voice, he did a great job, but they just screwed that movie up. Just screwed it up.
So don't waste your $15 on a ticket to see the movie.
Hell no.
I'll write myself a note, Rob, on that one. I won't go.
Well, hey, Tim, did you go see yet the Maverick?
No.
Oh no, that's the one you got to see, Tim.
I gotta go see it.
Yeah, Rob gets a boner every time he talks about it.
Oh my God, that movie was good.
Look at cameras moving because his look at put the thing away, Rob. Put it away.
Knock it down. Knock it down.
Poke him in his eye.
Oh, Freddie. Look at Mike's going for a second beer. This is huge.
Speaking of information, Freddie, who was the running back for Dearborn Divine Child that year?
Caesar Roman.
So I had one more hit on him. It was probably bigger than Doring. It separated my shoulder in that game. I'll never forget that. It popped back in place. I had a square on, head on with him, and that was I should say 3.
And just as a reminder too, Pat Shurmur was on that team, the NFL coach.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They had Chris Zammit.
Daryl Zammit.
They had the two defensive ends. One was 6'7", one was 6'10". Yeah. And again, another Catholic school playing in public school.
You remember what they did to Eric Gunnarsson?
Oh yeah.
You remember? They picked him up and smushed him. Both of them it was done.
It's like Malachi
Crunch. Yeah.
They took our legs away.
Yeah.
That was what they wanted to do.
Yep.
They had a slew of running backs there. Did they have Melfar Jr. before Caesar?
They were good. They were very good. You know who we played? Was it the week before? It was Montrose, Freddie? The week before?
Yeah. You had Scott Aldred.
Scott Aldred.
Pitcher for the Detroit Tigers.
So I'm catching in the winter at Old Tiger Stadium, and I'm warming him up. Freddie goes, "Take this with you. Take this video and show him." I put it in the thing. I said, "You remember this game?" He goes, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "I can't believe it." He was the quarterback for them. He was pretty good too. But
that's when Randy him up a couple times.
I hit him a couple times, but Randy Jones lit the whole field up that day. It was his day. So he was running amazing and fast, and it was amazing.
Damn.
Rob, you said you had a couple topics for today.
Well, I was going to lead with one. I was flying yesterday through Nashville. I normally always do direct flights, but for some reason I had this layover in Nashville. And I'm sitting, and this was the most unreal scene I've ever seen in my life. It was really touching. So I'm sitting at the gate. I'm watching YouTube TV on my phone when I noticed everybody that was waiting at my gate walks over to the windows. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? So I start walking over, and I'm looking over people. Well, the plane that we were getting ready to board when it came in, they had the color guards, they had the hearse, and they were taking off the casket with the flag draped on. And when I say, I mean, I've never been in a surrounding like this, Tim, where women were crying, bawling their eyes at this gate. And it was just the most unbelievable thing. I was just sitting there welling up my eyes. And I mean, I just couldn't, it was just insane.
Definitely overwhelming. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. You know, you hear about this. You hear about it all the time. But when you actually see it.
Yeah. It's quite overwhelming. No question.
I mean, everybody, when they saw the color guard and they saw the hearse and they saw the thing, everybody's just watching and people had their phones out. I don't know if I agreed with that. I mean, it was just weird. But then once that casket came off that plane and those guys started doing the step with it, people just started bawling.
Yeah.
Just bawling.
Ultimate sacrifice, brother. The ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah. Boy, Rob.
What a downer, huh?
What the fuck?
You almost made Fred cry just talking about it. He didn't even see it.
Can you bring me a razor blade?
Well, we play, Tim, we play a drinking game, or I think our 3 listeners play a drinking game that when they see Fred cry, they take a drink.
Do they?
Yeah, he does cry a lot on this show.
Yeah, it happened one time.
We get fucking plastered. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta admit though, what Glow just got going on with that, with his book and stuff like that. And the great part about it was that I really enjoyed about it was I knew that my uncle was involved, but I really didn't know how much. You know what I'm saying? I met Ron. I mean, I knew Ron. We coached together. He showed me the ropes and some coaching and got me involved, got me in the building. But my uncle, who, you guys may not know as much, but Fred knows what he's done for me throughout my life, and, before he passed away. But I mean, what a story. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if my uncle doesn't hook him up, what would have happened?
Well, he talked about you, Tim, being instrumental about him coming here. I mean, his relationship with you. I mean, he talked about that on the show.
Well, let's just put it this way: Timmy's Uncle Ed was truly his father.
Oh yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man. One of the best.
And when Ron came to town, Tim, Ron, and I we played for the Maroons in that Canadian league. We got Ron to play, and we had a riot, and and Ron's parents were there, and and they were at every game, and it was cool. And then Tim and I got a chance to coach with Ron in 2007 on the baseball team with Darren Letson and get and having his dad involved, doing the scorekeeping and stuff like that. So you got to really know the type of people that were that we were dealing with. And it was nice, nice for Darren to reach out to me. They had a kid that had all the talent in the world, but he couldn't lasso him, and he realized that this kid reminded him a lot of him when he was a sophomore. So he brought me in, and I worked with this kid, and this kid had probably the best year he had ever had. Just problem is you can have a $1 million arm, but if you have a 5-cent head, there's nothing you really can do about. But try to dial it in a little bit. But but going way back, I mean, Tim and I went to kindergarten together. We were in middle school, high school. We even played ball in college a year. So we've always been, our families have always been kind of one of those families where I don't know what it was, but his family and my family were always trying to pit him and I against each other. And we just sat there and laughed at him for whatever reason.
It was always fun. Hey, Freddie, tell them about how many times did we face each other? You were at what? You were at
no, fuck you. I'm not telling that story.
We were at McConnell. You were at.
I was at SC4.
One at bat or 2 at bats? I can't remember.
Well, first of all,
you remember.
Of course I remember.
We were always teammates. We never faced each other. We were always teammates.
We never faced each other. Yeah, we faced each other in minor league or senior league, but I don't remember what we did in there. But But when we got into college, I played at SC4. I wanted to go to McComb. My mom says, no, you're going to SC4. So I went up to SC4. Nobody on our team, because there were a bunch of, it was just a bunch of misfits up there. We were good during the spring ball, and then a bunch of people were ineligible, and then
that's junior college baseball, buddy.
So we had a doubleheader coming up against McComb, and our coach goes, well, we got McComb coming, and does anybody want to pitch against him? And nobody raised their hand, and I raised my hand. I said, I'll pitch against him and I'll win. And then everybody's like, look, whatever. So I get on the mound, and Tim comes up, and of course, he's trying to make me laugh. And of course, that's not, how hard is that? That's not, so I'm smiling.
Easier to make you cry, but
it's either laugh or cry. There's no in between.
So the thing is, I got him right where I want him, and I throw a pitch, fool him, and it's a strike. There's no fucking doubt about it. And the guy called it a ball. My catcher collapses to his knees, and I'm like, what? And Tim's looking out at me like that. So
just that look at it.
Yep. So he fouls one off, and then I throw a curveball, and he hits it. And he goes, the one thing that he remembers the whole time is I yell from the mound out to the outfield, catch it!
And did the guy catch it?
No, two-bagger.
No, but I won the game. But I won the game.
Yeah, he did.
So Tim won the battle, but Fred won the war, sounds like.
Oh, yeah. He had me struck out.
Going back to Coach Ron's show, and it sounds like you watched it, Tim.
Yeah.
We knew that going into that show, he didn't really understand what the show was about, and he was a little nervous. We knew going in he was going to be a little nervous. Fred kind of prepped us for it.
Sure.
And you could tell when he got on, he didn't know, really the format. He didn't know maybe Mike. Yeah. He didn't know me from Adam. He watched a couple of shows. But I watched him in that show start out like a closed, like cocoon.
Oh, yeah.
And he just really opened up that. I mean, that was, I think, our best show to get someone from one point to another. Yeah. And he just, at the end of it, he was laughing, had a great time, and it was just a great show. Yeah.
Well, my uncle told me something about him when I was younger, when he asked me about Ron. I said, oh, yeah. And he goes, you know what that guy's got? He's got a disease. And you know what that disease is? I went out. I'm like, well, I don't know, Uncle. He goes, winning. He's a winner.
Yeah.
That's what my uncle told me about that man. He said he will win.
He was right.
He was right.
He was right for sure.
100% right.
Definitely. Right. Class act. We've had nothing. And that, from Jerry up to Darren right now it's as I mentioned before, it's just a fine oiled machine.
Well, I mean, think about it, man. Think about it. They just carried on. It's just past the baton, man. It's like a 1,000-yard dash, and just keep handing off to another great coach. That's
Tim,
the way
in
it
a
goes.
perfect world, let's say they come to you in like 5 years or 10 years, maybe a little less, and they want you to coach that program. What do you say?
Whew. For me?
Yeah.
My back. Well, I mean, I would say yeah, but
you would take it on.
He wouldn't take the head coaching job, but he would definitely definitely be part of the coaching staff.
Answering for him.
Well, he'll be the first one to admit it.
Technically, you were the first one to admit it.
Yeah, I thought I heard
the reason why I'm saying that is because Tim and I have had this conversation.
You got to have that coach in the building. That's the part of it. You got to have the head coach in the building. With the students and everything.
They have to be a teacher then.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm a bad leader.
No.
Right. I'm not saying I'm a bad leader, but I damn know how to follow. I can tell you that much. And I've coached with some great ones. I coached with Ernie Witt. He's phenomenal. I learned a lot from Ernie, in my years of coaching. Mm-hmm. It was just, and we traveled and did a lot of things. I learned a lot from I learned so much from you guys. How many coaches I've had throughout my years since my youth. It's like a puzzle piece, each coach's little knowledge of this is like one of them puzzles you build on a table. And if that puzzle piece fits, you keep growing. And that's how my career went with it all, you know. So
think about those dynamic leaders that you've had though. Some do it because they're just natural born good leaders. They know how to lead.
Yeah.
Some aren't always the greatest leader. Like they don't have vision, but they lead by example.
Sure.
I think you would be more of a lead by example type guy.
Yeah, I mean, hard work's got me where I've had to go. Baseball was very good to me. Being an athlete, being a three sport athlete was very good to me to help me out because it kept me out of trouble, for one. Was I a great student? You know, that I lacked from that. Look back on it now and say, well, I probably should have been a lot better, but I learned a lot. I was street smart. I wasn't book smart, but each sport helped. You know, I wasn't a great basketball player, but Mr. Amel would say, go out and get your 5 fouls. Okay, go guard that guy. Beat the crap out of that guy. Football.
He's the enforcer on the basketball team.
Football
comes into the game, goes right next to one of the Whiteman twins, looks right up. Hey, asshole.
I got breaking news, guys.
Oh, here we go. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Is this faking news or breaking news?
No, breaking news. As of Friday, July 1st.
That's not breaking.
Well, nobody knows.
It hasn't even happened yet.
Well, no,
July 1st.
It's already been inked, but it starts July 1st.
Okay.
His contract starts July 1st. Cardinal Mooney will have their newest athletic director, Kevin Mahn.
That's awesome.
Yep.
He's awesome. The AD starting July 1st?
Starting July 1st. Yes, sir.
Nice. It's a nice addition.
Yeah, it is a nice addition. He's a good, as you know, Tim may or not know. I mean, he's friends of all of us. You knew he was friends with Tim.
I know Kevin very well.
We love Kevin Mahn. Yeah.
It's a quality human. He is.
Human. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to do good things there too.
Yep.
He's the right fit for that type of school.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm hoping is that a school like Austin Catholic doesn't take over a lot of those kids from Cardinal Mooney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get their mix. They'll be okay.
I hope they can get their mix. But I think the one good thing is I think Kevin can be a liaison for like St. Mary's, Port Huron, St. Mary's, St. Clair, maybe Our Lady of Immaculate Conception, obviously Holy Cross to have some of these kids that might want to still have a Catholic private high school experience. And he's going to be involved in that softball program, which they had just started a couple of years ago. And he helped with the team this year. They were putrid. But he knows that he's a Bob Siskevich of softball. He's been successful, and I mean he's been successful in football as a JV coach. He could have easily been a varsity coach. He's been a varsity coach, but he could have been the head football coach. If he was the head football coach at St. Clair, I don't think there would be a boy that would not play football at St. Clair.
Yeah.
And, we're a little biased because we do love Kevin, but we know that, his style of life, his commitment to his faith and his character is just going to speak volumes there. And think about, Fred's right. I mean, he will be able probably to recruit some. He's so ingrained in St. Mary's, St. Clair. He's going to have some kids going.
Yeah, he used to teach there too, so that kind of helps too.
Yeah.
Hey, you asked me that question about the football program in Marine City. If I was to ever take it over, I probably couldn't get an interview with the lineup that they got for great coaches there. Then line. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what does that sound like? What does that sound like? So that's how Ohio State is, right? Yeah. When they lose a coach, they don't go looking for a coach.
No,
they already know who the next 4 are going to be in succession.
Yeah, you think about that, what they have going on there. That's amazing. It really is.
Tim, you'd get my vote for head coach at Marine City.
No, I
would.
That'd probably be too much. Like I said, a head coach belongs in the building with the students. When they're there during the day, so he can stomp out any problems.
Is that a
take those over.
criteria though in Michigan, or is that just something?
I don't know. It's a good question to ask Ron. Ron would probably give you a good.
I know down here in Florida, you don't have to be a teacher.
Texas, I don't think. Think of Texas, probably not.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the coaches down here in Florida get high three-figure salary, $700,000 deals to coach football.
Yeah, no question. I mean, when I retire from work as an operator, I'd love to get back into coaching a little bit more full time. That's my goal. Now, is it at the collegiate level? Is it the high school level? Who knows? Is it? Where's the opportunity knocks is where I go. We'll see what happens.
What's your plans? I mean, that many years at your job. I mean, you got to be thinking about the exit plan here. And what's
close?
Your
We're close.
Yeah,
5 years.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do in retirement?
Get back into coaching.
Do you really? Good for you.
Yeah. So whether it's warm or whether it's, we talked about it, Jamie and I, a little bit. That whether it's she wants to stay where the girls are, so that's what we'll do. So put that resume out there and see if somebody will take me. We'll have to work on that.
Well, there's no question that when you retire, Ron Glowich will be calling you.
He's over there. Their facilities will be probably right about right then, right?
Yep, be there. Or Kevin will be responding to you. Marine City will be responding to you for at least 2 sports.
Well, you'll have to get me on.
We'll be responding to you.
I actually, when I don't know if I talked to you about this, Freddie, but remember when the Michigan job opened up? Baseball. When
with
Rich Maloney left, and I was good friends with Rich, and I was talking to him a little about, hey, he asked me what I was doing, and I said, well, I'd like to come down and work some camps with you, and then he ends up leaving, and I actually called the athletic department and asked about the program, and gave my name in there, but they already had that guy from Maryland lined up. He did a phenomenal job. Recently, did that program open back up?
Yeah.
Did he leave?
Yeah, he left Clemson. Yeah. He left Clemson to come
to Michigan.
Yeah, but now he went back to Clemson.
They just had
Eric Babbage.
He went back to Clemson.
Yeah.
Did they have some issues here?
No, it's just that the Clemson fired their coach, resigned or quit or fired.
So he went back there,
and that's where he started his career. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
I mean, you can't blame him. And the unfortunate thing that a lot of those kids have left and jumped into the transfer portal to go down to play for him in Clemson. So, Michigan's in a position where they got to find a new baseball coach. They've already approached Fetter from the pitching coach from Michigan.
He turned him down.
Declined. So, it's a program that they'll find somebody that'll be strong. Yeah. So, they've even talked about, hiring Brandon Inge as the head coach.
That'd be cool. So he did a good job. He's a name.
He was there. He was coach under Babbage anyway, so he was the first base coach.
Yeah, I mean,
he needs to shave. He needs to shave that mustache off, though, man, because you don't get that out of your face.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but hey, Mike, how tall are you?
Don't start crying.
Yeah, Mike, how tall are you, Mike?
6'1".
Okay, how tall are you, Rob?
6'1".
Okay. Hey, Tim, how tall are you?
Just say 6'1", Tim.
My baseball card says 5'11".
Okay. Well, let me just tell you a story, boys. And I told you I was going to tell a story. I was going to razz Tim. So one day we were going to a baseball combine to try, to get our names out there for, into the major leagues. And I told Tim on the way, I said, you know what? I think you should try out as a catcher. And he's like, what? I'm like, dude, I think you should try out as a catcher. He's like, well, why would you think that? I said, hey, think about this. There is not a call for, he goes, I want to play the infield. I'm like, Tim, think about this. Look at all the infielders in the major leagues. There's 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", all across the infield. I mean, there's not too much of a call out for a 5'9", 5'10".
He just said he's 5'11".
Well,
5'11".
He said what?
Well, let me finish. A 5'9" third base. He goes, well, I'm 6 foot. I'm like,
no, I did not.
what the hell you did? He's like, and I go, what? I go, what? I go, if you're 6 foot, I'm 6'8". And he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
And ironically, he signs with the Tigers, and what's he play? Catcher. Now,
Yeah.
I tried to tell him our senior year, if he would have caught our senior year at Marine City, he would have been drafted in the first 8 rounds.
Possible. I remember when Clyde Weir said the same thing. Who did sign me eventually?
Yes.
Clyde said the same thing, and he said that catching and blah 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 would have been my deal. I could throw the ball pretty good. I mean, but to do the job, I was needed elsewhere. I was needed in the infield. They weren't worried about catching it. We were worried about playing defense and doing everything else. So, I mean, it is what it is. It eventually, came to me that here you go. You can throw the ball hard. You can hit it a mile. Get back there and catch it. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
We had good times catching up with you, Tim, man. It's nice seeing you again.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I look forward to
part 2 is going to be even better, because we're going to get into more details about things that we did back in the day that if we did them now, we'd be in deep shit.
Yeah. We'll have to get into some of the we'll have to have a topic of discussion of some of my all-time favorite visits to the mound with some of my former players, teammates that I played with. I could put you guys in stitches. I'm telling you. In the minor leagues.
Do you remember playing chase in our cars around the streets of Marine City?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
How we didn't die, I don't know.
Or kill someone, Tim. I don't know how we didn't die or kill someone. Who in their right mind would drive to the streets of Marine City in the back streets with the lights off, doing 50, 60 miles an hour, hiding from each other? Idiots from the idiot circle. That's who.
Yeah.
100%.
Supreme idiots.
Well, the nice thing, Tim and I were
idiots.
Yeah, Tim and I went through that cemetery with our lights off because we knew it like the back of our hands, and nobody could catch us.
Yeah, it's Cindy cleaning blue tires out.
Yep.
Shit, I taught you guys how to do it.
Hey, I got an idiot circle question for you.
Nice.
So as you come around the corner and you used to go by the what was the name of the auto parts store on the right?
AC Delco.
Yeah.
Whatever. Lauren worked in there, right? Well, you drive by and then you got another car coming at you, and you flash your lights. What's that mean?
Swerve it. We're gonna switch lanes.
Yeah.
You're gonna switch lanes. Remember?
Yeah.
Go whoop and switch lanes. That was awesome. Well, you really had to trust the other guy. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If the other guy, blinked the lights, you switch lanes. If you saw a group of girls coming, you would go in their lane to scare the shit out of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How fast were you going downtown? 10 mile an hour?
15.
Yeah, 20, 15, yeah.
At the most.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, think of the music rocking out of the back of some of the vehicles. Man was it loud. That's basically why they said that's it. No more downtown with all the music as late as it was. So some great times.
To be. It was the place to be.
Yeah, definitely.
So
we'll have to, like you said, Mike, we'll have to do it all over again. Have a t-shirt thing and a weekend. We're in the annual.
I think we should do it. I think we should do it. That would be awesome.
End it out at Putty Gut, man. Just let's do a full blast, bro.
Yeah, if you're gonna go, you go all.
I say we all end up at McConnell's house in his backyard and have a big giant band play out there. Have the Meldrum brothers or Paul and Oates play.
That'd be fun.
Hell yeah, that'd be.
Fred, your job's to talk the wife into that one, okay?
I'm not going to talk to Jamie about that.
I'm not saying nothing. It's your job.
Okay, thanks. Can we please do that?
Throw Fred under the bus.
I guess that means no.
She'll tell me no right away, but she'll at least listen to you, Fred. She knows how it goes.
Sure. She'll sort of listen, but she already have her mind made up. Come on, let's be honest.
So yeah, just make sure when we do this again, we gotta do something. We gotta do a topic. I gotta have a good one of mound visits.
That'll be definitely. We gotta do that.
Good.
We'll have to talk about that one. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Trust me, and everyone that's been involved. with your idiot circle, and like people I've talked to, they love it. So you gotta tune in and check it out. And get some great
you
guests.
talked
I
to
don't know
both
who
of
the
our
hell you're hanging out with. But
you talked to both of our viewers. Wow, that's
Dave,
something
the two that
else.
I know, Dave. I talked to Dave, and I obviously talked to Ron. So that was good
Yeah.
stuff. So
Well, Ruth Biskiner told me to say, hey, she wanted me to remind you about Mrs. Drew's class.
oh yeah, Ruth.
Ruth. We used to do that all the time.
Great. She's a great girl.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
girl.
she's actually our producer, Tim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the
Yeah,
one that
awesome.
feeds us all
She
the
feeds us all these
questions.
questions. So,
Yeah.
well, hey, Tim,
You're good.
we really
She's good.
appreciate you being on the show. We'll get you on a second time for sure, and we'll get into a little bit more nitty gritty details. But
Mountain visits, I
yeah.
like it.
yep.
Yeah.
So, hey,
That'll be
guys,
a good one.
if you like the show, make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. Hit the subscription button so you subscribe, and it'll send you notifications and let you know when we're doing a new show. And also, we're on Facebook as well under the Idiot Circle. This show will be downloaded on there, and feel free to comment on it, and let us know if you have any questions for Tim. So when we have him on another time, we can use those questions. So, hey, Tim, we really appreciate you coming on. Guys, as always, it's a pleasure seeing you. And next week we will be having on a surprise guest.
Oh, a
Ooh.
surprise guest.
Ooh,
He's not even going to tell us.
Yeah,
Man,
why it's a surprise guest?
Why?
you don't know yet.
Because I don't know yet.
Bingo.
I was gonna say, I hope it's Kate Beckinsale.
Ooh.
Oh, don't get on. You can't get on that type of subjects.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a whole
Yes.
nother topic.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Oh, thanks for
Yeah.
coming on, Timmy. Good to see
All
you,
right.
bud.
You
I'll
guys
see
take
you
care.
around.
Good seeing you. Peace out.
All right.